Owen is an experienced ranger working in Western Canada's Deepwood Forest Reserve. He has dedicated much of his life to protecting local wildlife and the ancient forest. One cool autumn morning, while walking along a small stream, he heard a quiet moan. As he got closer, Owen found a young bear lying still in a mud hole near the water. The bear's fur was wet and muddy, its round black eyes showing sadness. It seemed to have been stuck for many hours, with no one knowing in the deep, empty forest. Owen gently knelt, calming the animal with a gentle voice and slow movements. He knew that one quick move would make the young bear scared and make the situation much worse. Even though it began to rain lightly, Owen kept trying to pull the young bear out of the mud. After almost half an hour of struggling in the mud, he finally lifted the bear to safety. The young bear lay breathing heavily on the grass, its body shaking from cold and tiredness, its eyes still on Owen. He wrapped a scarf around its body, gently rubbing it to keep it warm and clean the mud from its head. Owen checked for any serious injuries. Luckily, it was only tiredness and a lack of energy. He carefully took some water from his bottle and gave it small sips through his hand. At first, the bear was scared, but after a few sips of water, it started to trust him more. Owen did not call for help but chose to stay with it all night to watch the situation. He set up a small tent nearby, caring for it while staying a safe distance away. The next morning, when the sunlight came through the trees, the bear was able to stand on all 4 feet. It walked unsteadily towards Owen, smelled his shoes lightly, then put its head on his knee. That moment made Owen very emotional. He knew he had just formed a connection with a wild creature. After a few hours of watching, Owen decided to remove his scarf and let the bear go its own way. The young bear looked at him one last time, then slowly walked into the misty forest. Owen stood still for a long time, watching it disappear among the moss-covered trees. Although he did not speak, the bear's eyes showed its deep thanks. From that day on, Owen always brought a few apples with him when he patrolled the forest. About 3 weeks later, Owen happened to see the young bear again, on the path near the old stream. It was now healthier, its fur smoother, and its eyes sharper than before. Seeing Owen, it stopped, not running away, but sitting still as if waiting for something. Owen opened his bag, took out a bright red apple, and gently rolled it towards the bear. The young bear sniffed, then carefully took a bite, a happy look on its face. From that day on, whenever Owen went on patrol, the bear would appear unexpectedly, as if it was following him. They often met in open areas, dry streams, or forest edges where few people went. Owen never tried to control it or get too close, but always brought apples. The bear did not interfere or cause trouble. It just quietly came, ate the apples, and then went back into the forest. A strange friendship existed without the need for words, only with trust and sweet apples. One early spring day, Owen was given the task to explore the very center of the deep forest where no human had ever been. He prepared tents, food, and equipment, then went deep into the wild alone. In the late afternoon, it rained heavily. Strong winds made trees fall, and the ground became slippery. Owen had to set up a temporary tent in a small valley to stay for the night. He lit a fire, ate some dry food quickly, and lay down to rest, amidst the cold sounds of the forest. As midnight passed, he felt something was wrong in the quiet air. The birds that usually sang early in the morning had stopped, and the wind carried a strange smell. From far away, he suddenly heard odd noises, like light but fast footsteps from many directions. Using his flashlight to look around, Owen saw green eyes peeking from between the bushes. He understood quickly, a group of wolves was coming closer, surrounding the camp from many different sides. Alone in the wilderness without a phone signal, Owen knew he could not escape. He pulled out his knife and got ready for the difficult fight for survival ahead. From all four sides, the thin and quick shapes of the wolves slowly appeared under the faint moonlight. They walked quietly but smartly, their eyes sharp like knives. Aimed right at Owen, he moved back against a large rock, trying to remain calm, even though his heart was beating fast with fear. A leader wolf growled softly, seeming to tell the others to come closer. Owen waved the partly lit torch, shouting to frighten away the wild animals, but hunger did not make the wolves give up easily. They came closer and closer. Owen slipped and fell. The torch dropped from his hand, and the fire went out in the puddle. He only had a small knife in his hand and a hopeless look in his eyes, ready to give everything up. A wolf rushed forward, but Owen moved quickly and struck the air with his knife. Just when he thought he was about to be attacked, a loud roar sounded from the edge of the forest. The wolves immediately stopped, turning their heads towards the powerful roar. From the darkness appeared a large body, thick fur, eyes shining. In the mist, it was the bear. It was the bear that Owen had saved and shared sweet apples with. The bear roared fiercely. The roar made the wolves step back and seem to hesitate. It stood between Owen and the wolves, its fur standing up, its body like a living wall. Its front legs were steady, its head lowered, ready to jump on any threat. A wolf tried to move forward but was knocked down by the bear with a strong paw. The loud noise made the group of wolves scatter, retreating into the thick forest. The bear did not chase. It just stood there, growling softly as a final warning before turning around. Owen lay still, eyes wide open, unable to believe what he had just seen. The bear came closer to him, lightly touching his hand, as if to check if he was okay. The bear's gaze softened, no longer fierce but warm and understanding. Owen gently lifted his hand to touch that familiar warm fur, his feelings growing. The bear put its head on his shoulder for a moment, as if to say, "I miss you, and I have not forgotten." He whispered, "Thank you," and in that moment in the middle of the forest, they were both quiet. The bear stood up and slowly walked into the morning mist that was gradually clearing in the forest. Owen sat up, breathed out in relief, and watched the bear's shape disappear into the trees. A silent promise had been kept between the man and the wild. After that day, Owen always brought apples with him when he went on patrol, hoping to see his old friend again. Each apple was not just a gift, but a sign of trust and thanks. He told the story to the new students as proof of the bond between humans and animals. No one believed it right away, but Owen himself knew clearly that wonders do happen in the forest, under its thick fur and warm eyes, and somewhere that bear was still watching him quietly like a silent protector. What are your thoughts on this story? Please share them in the comments section.